It's Oxegen 2010, joined by Chris and Rostam. It's Vampire Weekend. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
It's not your first time at Oxygen, though, is it?
2 years ago, we were here. Yes.
Yeah. And at the time, when you first came over throughout the UK and Ireland, I mean, you did a lot of the UK festivals, and you did quite a bit of Europe the first time round with the debut, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. We spent a
Yeah.
lot of the, 18 months we toured our first record
But
over
the
this
thing
side of the
that's
pond.
quite unusual is for a band to get a top 20 both in Europe and in the USA. That's something that seems to elude so many. Did you realize at the time how kind of special that was?
Well, we signed to a label that was primarily based in London, in England, but also had an American office. And, I think they believed in us to some extent. We believed in them, and I think it worked out because of that.
Yeah, it's great. It's just so often you see it happen where it doesn't work. You know, the Blur never broke the States, or bands like Kings Leon that were huge around the UK and Ireland and headlining all of our festivals. And they said that nobody would, a lot of Americans didn't know who they were. So it's been really good for you guys.
Well, it's interesting you bring up two bands that are way bigger than us. So
They've
who
been
knows?
going a lot longer, though, to be fair to you guys, if that's the argument,
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But you must be happy with the reception that you guys have been getting since you started.
Yeah, definitely. It is pretty crazy to think we've only been a band now for 4 years, and all the places that we've been, all the places we played, and all that we accomplished. It is kind of crazy when you put it in those terms.
Yeah. And one of the things that I was really surprised by, and I suppose impressed by with Contra, is that often when a band's been as busy as you guys have since you started, I mean, you guys had covers in magazines before the album was out, so there was huge amount of intention and interest, and all the kind of musos loved you. And then with that constant touring that a lot of bands don't get on their debut, usually then the second album is a bit more spacious, a bit more relaxed, because you're aware of how hard it is to tour day in and day out. But this album is really up-tempo. You guys haven't given yourself a breath.
Well, and I guess we look at the recording as something separate, so we're not too worried about.
You weren't intellectualizing it.
We weren't thinking about how we'd pull the songs off live until after we'd pretty much finished the record. So I guess some of the recordings are more complex or intricate than we can do live as four people, but we like that there's some differences.
Seriously up-tempo, though. Tracks like, Holiday and Cousins and
We got some up-tempo ones, but there's also some down-tempo ones. There are like 2 straight-up ballads on this record, which there weren't on the first one. So we spread it out, I think.
2 songs to take a breather on.
Well, they're harder. When we play the song Taxi Cab live, I play an upright bass, which I don't have that much experience. It's one of the more demanding songs for me, actually.
It looks cool, though.
faster
Upright
ones.
bass looks awesome on
Yeah,
stage.
Yeah.
that song's demanding for me too. So
Really?
It's funny, yeah. The slower ones are some of the most demanding.
Okay.
But I guess you're right. We there's more of a ruckus in those the faster ones you mentioned.
And after the whole UK and Irish touring festival season, because I know you guys are heading to Tea in the Park tomorrow, and you've just come from another one in, was it Manchester?
We were in Manchester yesterday, yeah.
But you're getting to go off to Asia, which is very cool. What is it, Korea, Japan?
Yeah, we're playing Korea for the first time. Actually, we've gone to Japan twice as a band, and we're playing Fuji Rock. I guess that's sort of the end of this month, beginning
one
of
of my
next month.
dreams to go to Fuji Rock. I've heard such great things about it. Apparently
We've
insane.
heard that there's delicious food, barbecued, like sort of it's outdoors and
It's going to be really hot, I think. I remember when we were in Japan, Tokyo, and Osaka in August 2 years ago, it being some of the hottest days I've ever had, so bring shorts.
should be fun.
But I mean, after Ireland, you'll be so ready for the heat.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't know. The grey clouds everywhere that are just omnipresent at Oxygen every year, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not lucky with the sunshine for this
Well, yeah,
festival.
especially because Europe all summer, it seems it's been really nice.
been
Like
nice,
Glastonbury,
yeah.
we were there 2 weeks ago, and it was, sun was shining. It was super warm. I was very surprised by that. So I don't know what you guys are doing wrong.
That's why we have so many pubs. I have to ask you, because you guys, you have great videos, and Giving Up the Gun obviously is an incredible video, and the star power of it. I know that Jake Gyllenhaal is a huge music fan. Is that a personal connection, or is he just a fan of you guys, and did he volunteer his services to do one of the best cameos in a sort of rock or indie pop video, whatever you want to call it?
Well, it's interesting because we found out later that we did have a personal connection to Jake Gyllenhaal, and that's that we went to the same college. He went for 2 years, and then
Columbia.
yeah, he went on to, become a famous actor.
An icon.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was something that we got to talk about, but when we were making the video. But actually, the having him be in the video, that was more through, I think, the director, who it was possibly our manager.
I think Emmett, who along with his brother, the Malloys, they directed the video, had known Jake, and apparently Jake was a fan of our music and came down and was in the video.
Because he's quite clear about the fact that he spends all of his downtime downloading legally and paying for music, and then
Oh.
sort of so
Okay,
he's,
cool.
I know he's a music buff, so I just assumed that maybe he'd volunteered. So still pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm sure that added to the hits.
Yeah.
Added to the YouTube hits.
Yeah, yeah.
He has
Now,
fans.
Yeah.
now you're thinking like a marketing executive.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to put a smile on people's faces though to see next to one of their songs, so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
millions of people have viewed this. It's got to
Oh,
feel
yeah.
good.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Totally.
So then what do you have to look forward to when everything's going so ridiculously well?
Home.
Oh,
Yeah, when you're not home very often, you end up yearning for home quite a bit, I think. So we've been on tour kind of nonstop since last August even. We played a bunch of festivals last year and then, started doing press for the record in October, and we finished the record in September. And it's been kind of relentless all year, so having a little bit of time at home in August. And then, I'm looking forward to making our next record.
when do you think you'll get cracking on that?
I think it'll be nice for us to kind of go away for a while now and to kind of discover new sounds and leave things kind of as an open book. We haven't had any downtime pretty much since we started touring in July of 2007. So it's time.
Yeah.
It's time to.
Well, you guys still
to
look
live a little.
remarkably fresh-faced. It's probably
Yeah.
good that you've got youth on your side, because normally at the festivals you see a lot of white sort of ghosts with big black circles, and you don't have that white ghost effect, which is good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you must have a
We hide it. We have a lot of makeup. Yeah, we wear a lot of makeup.
decent caterer or a good tour manager giving you multivitamins and things like that all the time.
Well, we don't carry our catering, so
Oh,
we just have to make do. But generally, we've been pretty lucky.
okay. Well, congratulations on Contra, and really looking forward to the set tonight. What sort of balance are you going to do?
Half and half.
Really? Even Steven?
We got 2 albums. They're both about 35, 36 minutes long. Yeah, we got an hour to play. Half and half.
Okay. And are you going to try to see anybody? Is there anybody on the bill? Have you even seen
Jay-Z
it?
is always incredible
Okay.
live, and I kind of always associate with seeing him in random places. I've never gone to a show of his in New York, but then I've seen him in Canada, in sort of like outside Vancouver, a couple hours. The first time I ever saw him was in Norway at the Ho Festival 2 years ago.
Really?
So I think it'll be
he's so
cool.
American, he just seems so sort of almost iconically American. It's sort of interesting to see him with
Yeah,
grey clouds and the rain in Ireland. I'm curious about that.
he'll kill it.
Interesting.
Don't
Yeah.
worry.
With the bling and the shades and the
Interesting.
yeah.
It's interesting what you guys think of Americans.
Well, it's just I suppose he's such a I don't know. Yeah, he's
yeah,
just
yeah,
larger
it's
than life,
interesting because
and-
because we I guess coming from there, we have a totally different perspective on
Really?
what American is or what represents America to the outside world.
Like Steve Earle, Tom Petty kind of vibe, or Leonard Skinner, that kind of thing.
No, not at all, not at all.
Americana.
No,
No, yeah.
but no, I
The
guess
boss. It's got to be the boss.
no, I
Yeah.
think we think of Jay-Z as definitely very American as well, but
Yeah.
it's just interesting to think of it from, someone outside of the country's perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you guys.
Yeah, it was
I'm a
nice
huge
talking.
fan of the album, and we'll be playing loads of it tonight, and hopefully we'll be sneaking a bit of your set as well.
Great.
Cool.
I look forward to it.
Enjoy it.